weather continues to be absolutely amazing. It's still very warm, still very blue, still very sunny, just little bits of cloud here and there. Still a little bit of a southerly breeze, though sometimes it's remained still. It's been an amazing day of cricket. Just great weather.
We are fortunate. It can certainly get a little bit sour in November, that's for sure.
Okay, so McKinnon into bowl. Ooh, down the leg side. The batsman was going to play the leg side, the leg glance, but then he pulled out of it. So, slip, gully, point, cover, mid-off, short-ish, mid-on, silly, mid-wicket.
Again,
left alone.
Puts that one wide side off stump, and as you mentioned, Chukka, that was left alone.
And square leg.
So this is the 50th over of today's coverage there, which means 18 more is the maximum that Lower Plenty will have.
McKinnon into bowl. And well defended. It was a bit of a Yorker. Well, it was bad on the popping crease, so he was able to clamp down on it. So you would imagine, because the lead is so small, you would imagine Lower Plenty could chase it down in 5 overs.
Well, it'll depend now on how Diamond Creek go about, but you would have thought 5 overs would be it because of the fact Farah is being dismissed. McKinnon into bowl, sorry, and it's a full toss and it's just plotted to gully. So, like, if 5 overs you could score 25, 30 runs, so no matter what Diamond Creek's lead is, Lower Plenty should back themselves to chase it down at 5 overs, which means 13 overs to take the remaining 6 wickets. Still a huge ask, that 1 wicket every 2 overs. And it's driven, but straight back to the bowler. So he has to get his timing there, Pollitt. That was actually his 9th delivery he's faced, and most people after 9 deliveries aren't middling it just quite yet. So, not actually surprising that's the case, but still a long way to go. Cannon into bowl, and it's a drag it down, and it's 4 runs. So that's the bad ball from McKinnon, where he just tries to do the effort ball, but he drags it down into the leg side, and he was able to pull it. So it is now 116 for 4. Alright, so it looks like Lacey will continue. Big long spells for these two. Lacey into bowl, and it's down the leg side. Collected there by the keeper. Considering that the game is online, not surprising that they are going hard with this last spell. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to call it in terms of those 2 bowlers. Maybe turn to perhaps guys like Addison or Caldera, those likes. Lacey into bowl, and well defended. Probably, considering like you'd need at least 5 to 7 overs to chase down any target, which means that if the game comes down to the last half an hour, definitely that's when to call it, that's when to surrender. So, or even maybe 10 overs to go, you might think, well, can't take 4 wickets in 3 overs, and he comes into bowl and left alone. So it will be important there to have a couple of those overs, which they did in the first innings, thinking back to when Anderson got 2 wickets, well 3 wickets in an over in fact, 2 and 2 deliveries. Lacey did the same, both on 5-star hole-in-the-wall hat-tricks there. Neither getting them, but there's still big moments there in the first innings. Absolutely. As Lacey comes into bowl. Oh, it's an edge! And the slip fielder, O'Connor, tries to dive and take it, but he fails, and the ball gets through his fingers down to the backward region, and the keeper has to run back and collect it. 1 run. Yeah, just prodding a little bit Petrosino there, and the soft hands meant that it didn't carry to O'Connor. Ends up squirting away for a single. Probably should have been stopped. Regardless, it was probably more the half chance that they would be focusing on. Comes into bowl. Ooh, into the bread basket. Ooh, rub your belly, rub your belly. And for, of course, all the finest bread, feel free to head on down to Coburg Groceries to get all your groceries, including bread. Yes, very, very much so. Should bring a fielder onto the catching on the leg side. You probably don't need your mid-on at this point. I want him to be driving like that. Oh!
And it's edged through the third man region, and the point has to chase it down. She throws it in. And not out. So what did they get there?
Got a couple of runs there, and that ends the 41st over. It's 4 for 119.
So, as we believed, seeing Caldera warm up a couple of overs ago, and yes, he has been given the ball. He is bowling at the childcare centre end. It's the same end he opened the bowling with. So let's see if he can actually attack the stumps, unlike he did in his opening spell, where he just kept bowling it short of a length outside the off stump, and it was easily left alone. He bowled very tightly, but... And
you get the wicket of Russell, so they'll probably afford that for the short balls, even if they go for a few runs, if it means they get a wicket. I don't think Petrosino will go as hard for those short delivery
there are only 3 catches. As he comes into bowl, and it's driven. Oh, cut, sorry. And it goes through the extra cover region, and mid-off has to chase it down, and he collects it in, and he throws it in, and they get 2 there.
Fantastic commentary from me, thinking he wouldn't go after those sort of deliveries, and he does exactly that there. So, well played, of course, getting it through extra cover there. Safe shot in the end of the day, because there's only really one man who can stop those between point and mid-off.
Should be a catcher on the offside, and maybe another fielder at slip. Caldera into bowl. Whoa!
They are certainly missing Talk, or at the very least a substitute fieldsman, Lower Plenty. They could use one or the other.
Yep. As you can see, he is not present in the Lower Plenty change box, so he is not around in the ground. He must be somewhere else. As Caldera comes into bowl, and it's short, and he tries to play the cut shot by stepping away, exposing all his stumps, trying to play the cut shot, and then missing it, caught by the keeper.
I think the only one who can play a cut like that is yourself there, Chukka.
Yes. So, what are they going to do? What are the Lower Plenty team going to do? Caldera into bowl. And it's well blocked there. Again, he stepped away, stepped inside of it, stepped outside of it in order to defend it, so the ball wasn't at his pads. So he is just, he's moving, he's walking towards the leg side in order to stay to the offside of the ball.
It's effective so far as Caldera bowls. This one's short of a length, and Petrosino comfortably playing it away, no run.
Yeah.
Lead's still only 18, so with that door, even though it's only slightly ajar, it's still ajar there. You could get a sort of a draft.
Yeah.
If there was a breeze that night.
Still, you would say the Lower Plenty are at least 2 wickets behind where they should be right now.
Or at least need to be. This one
Whoa!
is backed away.
That was really badly played by the batsman. Anyway, end of the over. 121 for 4. And this definitely looks like it is the last hurrah for Lower Plenty, because their bowlers are still bowling. It is still Lacey from the river end. Lacey into bowl. And it's down the leg side again.
He is trying to attack the stumps though. That's where he'd most likely to get a wicket there. Pollock coming right across there and missing that one, but that's how he's going to get his wickets. He's going to be hitting the stumps, or at least hitting the pads, and hopefully getting an index finger from the umpire.
Lacey into bowl. Left alone. There's not a lot of chatter from the Lower Plenty players.
So I think I've potentially come to terms with the fact that they will only be taking 6 points from Mark or Greville today.
Lacey into bowl. Oh, blocked. Fielded there by the fielder at point, which is quite remarkable, considering they got the 6 points in the first quarter of the game, and then for the last 3 quarters they have been unable to force the outright win.
It's only really been that 10 over patch, so they got 3 wickets in this innings, so they've actually been able to flex their muscles again. With Lacey coming in, this one's full. Pollock playing across to mid-on. No real chance of a sensible run.
So in the end, what have these 3/4 of a game taught us?
Well, I think it's taught us that the competition's maybe a bit more even than what we feared that this Diamond Creek side would be uncompetitive, especially being smashed in the derby. Ooh. Inside edge there. So certainly the fear was amongst the media that this Diamond Creek team would just be uncompetitive in this competition, and that all the talk is of why they ain't free. But I think they've shown something over the last 3/4 of the match, and maybe can even beat some of those sides around them now, as opposed to just being there to make up the numbers.
Yep, absolutely. Lacey into bowl. Ooh. Well bowled by Lacey, a maiden. It's still 121 for 4. Easy number. So there have been 53 overs today, which means 15 overs to go. 1 hour left of the day's play. Caldera into bowl from the childcare centre end, and it's a wild whoosh. That was just that is probably the worst shot of the entire game. Stepped out leg to leg and then tried to swing from the hip. Nowhere near the ball, not even looking at the ball.
Certainly not Petrosino's strength. It's surprising that he would try that shot there. Maybe to try and get that mid-wicket out to a regulated mid-wicket and set them close.
Caldera into bowl and blocked off the back foot. Caldera into bowl. Ooh, blocked there.
Yeah, Clap suggested that was well fielded, although I think most would have been able to get to that one.
Yes. So I still think there needs to be another catcher. Just a slip and a gully and a silly mid-wicket is not enough. You need it, maybe... Comes into bowl. Ooh! Either a second catcher on the leg side, maybe someone for the hip glance, a sort of silly fine leg, or a short cover, or maybe a short point.
I wouldn't mind the short cover there, just to at least give him the option saying, alright, if you're good enough to hit it through the covers, you'll get more than just a top ball. So maybe bring a short cover.
Caldera into bowl. And it's short, and it's left alone by again the batsman again stepping away from it to expose all his stumps. So once he noticed that the ball was short enough that it wasn't going to hit the stumps, he just stepped away.
Caldera in once more. This is full, nice and full for the Yorker length. Petrosino playing comfortably, so that concludes the end of the 44th over. It's 4 for 121.
Well, we knew it was going to happen eventually because Lacey was bowling a very long spell, but he has taken off, and so at the river end we've got to change the bowling.
So we've got some more spin. This looks to be leg spin, and it's driven from Pollock. No addition to the score from that shot there. So we're coming on from the river end is one of your favourites, Sam Knife.
Ah, been very quiet this game.
This is a stock delivery, well bowled, and not badly played either, playing it out to mid-on.
So in the 2 previous games, Naif was the leading, second leading run scorer behind Macca, and he's been very quiet this game. Not done much.
That's well cut, but not piercing the gap there. Pointer having a reasonable time just picking up the ball.
So this seems to be a bit of a surrender from O'Connor to bowl a leg spinner.
This is flighted, and it's also been put over mid-on's head. Now, will this go to the boundary? You would say not, because the fielder has got it inside the boundary. So 2 more runs there to Polly.
Yes, generally, if it doesn't hit the stumps, it's no. If it doesn't hit the boundary, it's not boundary. There's a fielder on the fence on square leg.
Tell I teach him every day. As a knife in, Pollock will leave this one and one-hand take behind the stumps.
There is a fielder on the fence at the square leg region for the slog sweep.
Well, there hasn't been a slog sweep this match, so I'd like him certainly a lot straighter. That is off the pitch, which we definitely miss not seeing more of that here in the commentary box.
Yes.
Brings a bit more realism to the game when there's off the pitch bowling. It's not that easy.
Naif into bowl. And left alone, again one-handed there by the keeper. The keeper is wearing the helmet, suggesting that it's quite a dangerous bowler to keep for. So 124 for 4. Okay, so there are 13 overs left in the day's play.
Only a pad there of Petrosino, so Calder not aiming to add to his wicket sittings. So really is last hurrah sort of stuff there. I know we've mentioned it for the last half hour, but they slowly are running out of overs there.
They have to take a wicket and over from now on. Caldera into bowl, and it's glanced, but the square leg fielder misses it and takes off his hat in order to chase it down.
Disappointed in that one, Addison there at square leg. That moves the score on to 125.
125, so the lead is of 20 something. Still, it's a very small lead. You can chase it down in 4 or 5 overs if you get the bat in your hand, but that's the problem for Lower Plenty. Get the batting in their hand. Alder blocks it.
What it does is it actually poses the question about their decision earlier today. For those who actually missed the start of the play, Lower Plenty batted 10 overs and actually lost 4 wickets for not a lot to be accomplished with the runs. 26 runs in that 10 overs. Probably the wrong decision in hindsight from O'Connor to keep batting.
Absolutely. Comes into ball. Ooh, that was a good ball. It was very, very. They didn't look like it was a clear plan from Lower Plenty because they were scoring at 3 or less than 3 runs and over throughout those 10 overs. So they weren't trying to quickly boost the runs before a declaration. They were sort of just batting normally. As he comes into bowl, and ooh, that ball rushed at him. And he had to play it at the last minute to block it as it went fielded by slip.
It's almost as if they had the 100-run lead in their mind and they just had to get there for one way or another. So, yeah, I think when you maybe get a chance to have a chat with O'Connor at some point, you'll be able to get some more answers. But all up there, definitely seems like he just wanted to get to a 100-run lead.
Comes into bowl. Whoa! And that was the leg cutter. So that was just 1 run off it. It's 125 for 4. So this is the 47th over of the Diamond Creek innings. Naif is to continue to bowl from the river end, leg spin for his 2nd over. He's bowled his 1 over for 3 runs.
Comes in. This is a bit flatter. And left alone there from Petrosino.
12 overs to go in the game. The lead is about 20 something.
Definitely needs to be that wicket and over as you spoke about. Now if this one's nice and full and well driven there from Petrosino, should be able to manage 2. See the man chasing it there at long off. And yes, collects it inside. So they'll just make it 2. Moves on to 127 for 4 score.
I really don't know what O'Connor's thinking with Naif bowling.
Probably just a roll of the dice to try and get 1 from somewhere.
Well, if you're going to... Like, they're not trying to score runs, they're trying to save the game. If you want to winkle out a wicket, you have fielders all around the bat, and then the batsman makes one little mistake, bat pad, take a catch in close, and that's the wicket you needed.
Life again.
You're not going to get a wicket through a stupid slog shot like this field seems to be set, because every fielder is saving one as if to take the catch for a slog shot, which is just not going to come. IF into bowl, and well defended there. Just the 2 runs off it. It's 127 for 4.
One.
And so, Connor yelled something at the...
Perhaps there's some sledging from O'Connor.
There is someone... Oh, there's the drinks. Is that the drinks? Okay, anyway.
Potentially.
Caldera into bowl. And well driven, straight to mid-off for a dot ball.
Just been some interesting calls of drinks. We had in the first session today, drinks 35 minutes before tea. And this would be drinks at a maximum of 10 overs before the end of the day's play.
Very strange, very strange. Caldera into bowl. And it's full, it's short. And it was right at the body and he swerved his gloves out of the way. Yeah. Like, at this point, you just got to say, I'm going to buy a wicket. I don't care how much it costs, so get everyone in. Maybe you'll concede a few runs, but then the batsman will get out. And it's short, and it's left alone again.
And this is the problem that O'Connor faces, is that Caldera is aimed for the stumps a lot more than his first spell, but there's still too many of those stop deliveries outside the off stump. So you'd certainly like to have more people up around the bat, but the batsmen aren't going to play at most deliveries if they're in that channel certainty.
Caldera into bowl, and ooh, that was a good wall. Batsman once again having to swish his gloves out of the way, but again, the ball was too slow to actually beat the batsman and actually catch the glove.
Two balls to go in this 48th over of the innings with Caldera. Right on medium fast. Full. Hits the pads. Not out is the decision.
Very emotional, even though that went way down the leg side. Like, it's not a bad idea getting this guy out LBW, but that was not out.
As opposed to knocking him out LBW, which is not a good idea. Certainly would rather get him out at this point.
Caldera into bowl, and well blocked. Lower Plenty trying to give it their all, but the Diamond Creek batters are intransigent in their defence. It's still 127 for 4. Okay, so there's another change of bowling, this time at the river end. So we got Addison back with his offies.
Taking off not half the 2 overs seems a little strange. You would have thought to try and buy because of the leg spin, you'd still give him more of a chance.
Now, oh, why aren't there more attacking fielders? There's just the slip.
See how he goes with this field?
This is a sort of surrender from O'Connor. As Addison into bowl. Ooh! And that goes, I think it hit the pad and it went down to short fine leg for a dot ball. So, slip, point, cover, mid-off, mid-on, square leg, short fine leg, and then a mid-wicket on the fence.
Probably no need to have a man on the fence at all, even for an off spell with one less player in the game. Just go for it. Have him in.
Addison into bowl. And defended.
Well, I'm from Petra Centre, they're getting to the pitch of the ball. Not allowing it to dip, as I know you're a big fan of the dip.
I am, and especially the extra bounce and catch the glove. Bat pad. Ooh! Weird shot there.
It was a late cut, but hit it like a regular cut. And then went nowhere. Fortunately for those who didn't want to go out, it was a dot ball.
Addison into bowl. Whoa! Extra bounce, extra spin. It actually pitched short outside the off stump and it ended up nearing the batsman's head. Addison into bowl. Ooh, not the most comfortable drive, a thick inside edge, but the bowler collects it for a dot ball. So 5 dot balls so far for Addison. Good over, but no one attacking. Addison into bowl, and left alone. Again, stepping away and exposing your stumps is not the way to defend the ball outside the off stump. So it's a maiden, so it's still 127 for 4.